I guess now is the time that we will send you guys off to our next segment. We'll send it down to the Senate building for our Senate hearing. Welcome to another Senate hearing. In this segment, we will be answering your Star Wars questions. If you want to leave a question for us to possibly answer, you can leave it in our Discord server, link in the description, or in the comment section below. Increased odds if you are a channel member, so make sure to become a channel member. Let's go ahead and get into our first question in today's Senate hearing. This one comes in from Aaron. Shout out to Aaron. He says, or he asks, do you think Legends content will be brought back in the Disney Star Wars era? And he also specifically mentioned Revan. And see, me and you, Mark, I know we're both not huge fans of a lot of Legends stuff. I mean, there's some things that are just like, it's cool. And stuff that I'm specifically okay with stuff that does not mess with our current timeline. I think there is a world where we do get some almost direct Legend stories because they're not like, I'm mainly talking about like Old Republic stuff because it has nothing to do with our current timeline. So they could do it and not have anything be affected. But I mean, they do take stuff from Legends quite often. It's just a matter of the way they make it in canon. Because for a lot of things, they obviously have to change stuff up. They're doing Heir to the Empire different than the books. They're doing, they did the sequel trilogy different than like what would be the sequel era of Legends with the books, with Heir to the Empire, stuff like that. So I like what they do, where they kind of pick and choose what they want to take out of Legends and bring it back into canon, maybe do it differently, stuff like that. But I feel like like I said, just to reiterate my point, the only way that I feel like we're gonna get a substantial amount of Legends content come back is if it's not directly related to our current timeline. So
yeah, I kind of feel the same way with you. There are, I don't hate all of Legends. Obviously, there's just like eating worlds, closing black holes. Like I don't like that. That doesn't really make sense.
The power creep
Yes, the
of
power creep.
Legends, where it's just like things are way too powerful, so then things in canon just don't sit like it. Just I think a perfect example of it is like the 2003 Clone Wars show, where it's an animated show. They just do a whole bunch of ridiculous stuff,
Yeah.
and that makes like, you watch the movies, they're not doing stuff like that. Yeah, you even watch 2008 Clone Wars, and they do some kind of wild stuff. They move kind of crazy because it's animated, but
Yeah.
it's nothing like 2003 Clone Wars. So that's kind of the way I look at it.
Yeah, the power creep is insane. Everybody's just way too powerful. But nah, I wouldn't. I'm not against it. Obviously, like recently they've brought back like those, like zombie troopers in Ahsoka.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously there's been it's not 100% confirmed, but there's been a slight tease of Abeloth, which we've already talked about this. Kind of on the fence about because she's so powerful, but guys like Revan, you could introduce Revan and I wouldn't hate it. The Old Republic is way before the prequels, so it wouldn't mess with anything. And I mean, people have always wanted like what in canon, what's going on before the prequel,
Hmm.
like how did Jedi get started? What's the Old Republic like? What was the High Republic like? Like stuff like that. So I think I'm not against that at all. I think they could definitely, if they wanted to, they could do their own trilogy with Revan. I think Revan's story is pretty good, and I think it would fit in canon. I feel like I don't think they would really have a problem implementing his whole like story to
Yeah.
canon with probably some minor tweaks here and there. I'm sure, but no, they're definitely going in a direction where they do take bits and pieces of Legends, but I think Revan's story, since it's kind of like about Revan, he's the first kind of Legends character and story where it feels like they could really bring a lot of that and just put it into the canon. But we'll have to wait and see. I don't know if that's what they're gonna do or not, but I wouldn't be against it, and I think that's something I could see them doing in the
Yeah.
future as well. So, well, to get into our second question here, submitted by Logan. His question is, how do you feel about cameos in Star Wars? Um,
Do you want me to like take it over real quick just to kind of explain my thought process?
the floor is yours.
Okay. So the question is specifically referencing Ahsoka, some of the quote unquote cameos, because some people's definition of cameos is completely different from the way I perceive it. I think cameos are just when you do something with zero purpose and it has nothing to do with the plot, it's just there to be there. Has Star Wars done that? Yeah, but I don't. I think Star Wars does cameos pretty well.
Yeah,
I
I would
really
agree.
do. And I think in Ahsoka, they're done really well. I mean, what are the cameos that you see? You see Anakin, makes complete sense. It's and he's like an integral part of it. Like it's not just he shows up for a second and he's gone. Like
Yeah,
he's an integral part of it. Rex, he's obviously not an integral part, but why would it, like if we're getting those flashbacks, why would you not see Rex? I think it would be
exactly,
weird to not see Rex.
exactly.
And plus with how much Rex means to Ahsoka and like that connection. That makes total sense. And
Yeah,
then the one that I think most people are upset about is C3PO toward the end. To me, makes perfect sense. He is there representing Leia. To the people that don't want Leia to be recasted,
exactly.
that's what you're gonna get.
Hmm.
And I think it was done perfectly. Like Leia fits into the story because she is, friends with Hera and obviously does not like the senator that what was there, but then the senator, realizes, "Oh, it's Leia that's doing this. I've got to chill out."
Yeah,
Like it's showing that even though she's a senator, she still has that aura around her of like that's Leia Organa. Like and I think C3PO being the voice, if you're not going to recast her, C3PO is the voice. Like that's just how it is and I think it was perfectly done and it wasn't overdone either.
yeah, exactly.
So,
That's the main thing. Is that it's not. You don't see it in every single show that comes out. The people really understand or misunderstand what cameo means. Marvel, they they run it into the ground.
mhm.
I mean, they abuse cameos in their shows and their movies, and it's bad. It's gotten to the point where it's like a joke at this point, where we're just expecting a cameo from somebody. Um, no, I don't think Star Wars. Because if you even want to call it cameos, I mean, I don't think, because like you said, every single like big character that shows up has a purpose. Like Anakin, he wasn't just there just to be there. Like
Hmm.
he has a purpose. C3PO had a purpose. Luke and Mando had a purpose.
Cad Bane in Book of Boba Fett, like
Had a
they
purpose.
have a
Like,
history. It makes perfect sense.
yeah, like why would they not do that? You know what I mean? Like, uh, it's insane to me that people feel that way, to think that they're like gonna go down a road of just having people show up for no reason.
Yeah.
Because Star Wars has never, at least off the top of my head, has never really done that.
Hmm.
Like a character's just there just to be there and to please the audience. Like I've never gotten that feeling once. Every character, they're put there for a reason within the plot, but I don't think they're really considered cameos, if you want to,
Yeah.
call it that. They're making
I
appearances to help the plot, I guess.
I kind of think people are flip flopping like cameos and fan service. I think
That's what
Star Wars does a lot of fan service,
it is.
but a cameo doesn't necessarily mean fan service only. Like everyone wanted Hayden back as Anakin and
Yeah.
thought it would be cool for him to show up in Ahsoka. So they did it. Is that fan service? Technically, maybe it's pleasing the audience, but why would you not please the audience? And then also it was done with a purpose. So I don't know. I like you said off the top of my head, I can't think of any cameos that were done where I'm just like that didn't need to be there. There's
Yeah.
fan service moments I can think of that are like, okay, that's just they're doing that just to please some people or just because.
Exactly.
But cameos, no. I mean, Darth Vader in Rogue One makes perfect sense. It's a super cool scene. It's supposed to lead directly into A New Hope, and it does.
And it does.
You obviously have to show Darth Vader like making an effort to go after the Death Star plans.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, I guess one idea of a pointless cameo, and this is only because they haven't done anything with it, is Maul in Solo.
That's true.
But that they could eventually do something with that,
Yeah,
like
like
with
that's
Crimson
what a
Dawn and stuff like
that's what a
that. So,
cameo is
mhm.
literally that.
So
But
I guess we'll see. But let us know in the comments what you think about cameos in Star Wars, and let us
yes.
know if you think we're wrong or right. I'm curious how other people think. But moving on to our final question for today. This one was submitted by Avenging Path 7. Shout out to him. He asks, what is your favorite ship in Star Wars, and what about it do you like? Uh, Mark, I'm gonna give you the floor on this one first.
Oh man. Now, what chip do I like? Because there's I think it's my
A
favorite
lot to
ones. I
choose
like,
from.
yeah, there's quite a few to choose from. I really do like the tie. I like the tie interceptor. I think it's a really cool, like, sleek design.
Mm-hmm.
Um I like the Jedi, like the starfighter that they use. I've always been a big fan of that. Uh Man, what would I might have to go. I might have to go tie interceptor. I'm not gonna lie. I think,
Wow.
I don't know, because there's so much to think about. It's like I'm trying to narrow it down.
Mm-hmm.
But I've always liked the Empire has like like pretty cool designs for their ships. I feel like, and I've always like the colorway is really nice as well. But I don't know. I just feel like the tie interceptor. It's just fast. I love the design of it. hits really hard. I feel like I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to go TIE Interceptor here. It's gotta be my favorite.
That's an interesting pick. I kind of respect it. Uh, I have it when it comes to ships. I have a very large bias toward like Republic era ships.
Yeah, I
I
feel
don't
that.
know. They just look so good to me. I just always thought that the original trilogy ships and the sequels are like basically the original trilogy ships anyway. Uh, I thought the original trilogy ships just they somehow look dated. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
like like you could tell that those were ship designs from the 70s and 80s. Like it's weird, but you get exactly what I mean.
Yeah.
Uh but I guess off the top of my head, ones that I like, I mean if we go like capital ship wise, the Venator I think is unbeatable. But I do really like the Executor. I think that's sick.
Dude, the Executor is cool.
I like V wings. I like Y wings. And I really like the droid tri fighter. I really like all those. But I mean, the N1.
That one
But if
is
I if
crazy.
I had to pick, I really like the Imperial shuttles as well. I think like the folding up.
Yeah.
Like I think that looks super sick. But if I had to choose one, if to the people that know me, you probably saw this coming. I'm gonna say Padme ship, the Naboo
I had
Royal
a
Shuttle.
feeling. I had a
I
feeling
mean, you can't get cleaner than that. You cannot.
that.
Like out of every ship in Star Wars, they all look futuristic. That one looks the most futuristic, like the
It
most,
does.
because it's just chromed out.
Yeah, no, it's
Like
sick.
that is a spaceship. So yeah, I would have to go with that. There's so many that I do like. I mean, I even
I
like the ones that you were mentioning.
yeah, I
So
forgot it. TIE Defender is another really cool one,
mm,
and the Ghost. I really love the Ghost. I've always loved the Ghost as well.
mm. I
Forgot about
like.
that.
Oh my god! It just. Oh, the TIE Advance Vader ship,
Oh yeah, the TIE Advance is clean.
because it just looks like just a mean TIE fighter.
It
Like it
does.
just it's like bulkier. It just looks mean. So
It's like
I
Vader.
like that one. That is true. That is true.
So
But that'll be it for this Senate hearing. Let us know what you guys thought of it, and if you have any questions that you would like to see answered on another Senate hearing, leave them in the comments below or in our Discord server, link in the description. Increased odds for channel members. And with that, we will go ahead and send it back to the boys at the desk.